About 200 years ago, in the early 19th century, Canada was a completely different country from what it is today. At that time, it had not yet taken shape as an independent and modern nation, and was primarily known as a colony under the control of the British Empire. If you're a true adventurer at heart, make sure to subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss our next journey. And hey, if you loved this video, smash that like button and share it with your fellow history lovers. Your amazing support keeps this time machine running. Until next time, let's keep traveling through time together. People's lives were simple, hard, and dependent on nature, and many of the amenities that seem obvious today simply did not exist. One of the most important features of life in that period was the scattered population. Most people lived in villages or very small areas. And large cities were very limited. Regions such as Quebec and Ontario, which were known at the time as Upper Canada and Lower Canada, were the main population centers. Many immigrants from Europe, especially from Britain and France, came to these areas to start a new life. The Canadian economy at that time was mainly based on agriculture, hunting, and the animal fur trade, especially beaver pelts. Trading companies played a very important role in the economy and collaborated with the indigenous people of the region to obtain animal skins. Farmers usually had a hard life and were engaged in grueling work on farmland to provide food for themselves and their families. Tools were simple, and tasks were mostly done by hand. Living conditions in terms of weather were very challenging. Canadian winters were long, cold, and exhausting, and many people had to prepare enough food and fuel in advance to survive. Houses were often made of wood, and their insulation was very primitive. Heating was done using fireplaces or wood stoves, and access to fuel was one of the major issues of daily life. The transportation system was also very limited. Roads were often dirt and uneven, and in many areas, there were no roads at all. People used horses, boats, or sleds to move around. Rivers played an important role in transportation, especially in the warm seasons when the ice melted. In winter, icy paths sometimes turned into roads. Socially, Canadian society was a mix of European immigrants and Indigenous peoples, First Nations. Indigenous people had deep knowledge of nature, hunting, and survival in harsh conditions and assisted immigrants in many cases. However, relations between immigrants and indigenous peoples were not always positive, and in some areas, there were tensions and conflicts. education and health were very limited at that time. There were few schools, and many children helped their families with farm work instead of studying. Medical services were basic, and doctors were rarely found in remote areas. Diseases could spread easily, and mortality was sometimes high. Families were usually large, and all members had a specific role in providing for the needs of life. In addition to housework, women played a role in preparing food, sewing clothes, and even farm work. Men were mostly engaged in heavy work such as agriculture, construction, and hunting. If we want to talk about Canadian politicians about 200 years ago, early 19th century, we must first consider that Canada was not yet an independent country, and was mostly governed under British control. In the West, most of the land was still in the hands of the Indigenous people, and European activity was mainly limited to trade, especially by companies like the Hudson's Bay Company. Overall, life in Canada 200 years ago was accompanied by many hardships, a strong dependence on nature, and a lack of facilities. In a way, it can be said that today's Canada is the result of a long path of survival, adaptation, and reform, from wooden cabins in harsh winters to today's modern and multicultural cities. Knowing that past helps us better understand why Canada is the way it is today, a peaceful, diverse, and relatively balanced country that still preserves the traces of its history within itself.